Welcome back to CCRPG. We are picking back up after our break tonight. The pilots just spent some time telling us how they spent the last few weeks after the end of their mission to liberate EoS Station and protect Ren, the owner and operator of said station. As we pick back up in this session, we're kind of like phasing back into normal time. So what I'm interested in finding out from my players tonight is what's our next steps? What is the crew as a whole planning on doing from here? And where are you? What are you doing? And are you talking to each other?
Well, we need a mission.
I would probably say we're all together in probably the planning room. Well,
yeah, let's call
lunch.
it a team meeting to discuss next steps.
So, we have to repair the hole in the ship.
Yes. Not going to name any names, but stares at Dyne.
Dyne.
what? I thought we needed a sunroof.
It doesn't really work in space, though.
I mean, that's Astro's problem.
Fair.
Well,
I mean, other than the obvious, I mean, I still got that job from what's their face team. We could probably work with them, or I don't know, maybe Ren's got something for us.
Torsay chimes in at that. Is like, oh, right. We reached out to the Kane vagrants, right? We were asking our friends in Shep 7 to see if they had any leads on anything we could help out with, I think, right?
oh, yeah.
We can ring them up.
Oh, one thing we could also look into is something Dion mentioned to me, that it's becoming harder to ship things into the Cygnus state. It's definitely one line we could look into.
What did Dyne say there? You broke up for me a little bit there, Jeremy.
Ditto.
Can you guys still hear me now? Is that good?
Yes.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Okay. Something that Dion mentioned to me is that it's becoming harder to ship things into the Cygnus state, which just seems like odd to me. It shouldn't really be a problem. So it's definitely one line that we could look into.
That's definitely something we can look into. I just want to let you all know, since we've been working closely with EoS, I've kind of been using Tessie Mendels as a bit of a go-between. She seems to have a lot of information. Even checking in with her if you guys are investigating something or need to get intel or even leads on new opportunities, she might be, a source.
Yeah, that bartender. She's the one that was close to Ren, I think. Clearly more than a bartender.
Yeah, especially since it seems like whenever I've tried to get to Ren directly and they've been busy, Tessie's kind of handled it for me. And I don't know if she's just the most important person in the station or if she actually has some sort of official title here, but she knows how to move some stuff around because, I mean, the next day supplies were in the hangar.
So you're thinking she might have a job for us?
I don't know. It's worth looking into. I didn't find out much about her, but apparently other teams work with her too. I heard a bit of chatter. People kind of use her bar as a bit of a hotspot. You might even be able to get a little bit of networking done anyway, even if it's not with her.
Yeah, sounds promising.
That might head over like there. A good place to start. Let's go there.
Yeah, might as well. I get up and then pull a crutch out.
I look over at it and I'm like, make sure you stay on that all day.
Remind me again how that happened.
His mech.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, high stress mag clamps. So it turns out it's high stress to your leg too when you try to activate them. Why don't you just fix them? Make them human usable. Or, rock usable.
It's a little bit more complicated than pressing a button, at least with how his mech works from what I understand.
If you let me get into it, like maybe I could fix it up, make it better.
I'm not sure Ren would like that.
At this point, Torsay just kind of like scratches her head, just like, yeah, thing's like a big black box. I mean, it looks very designed. It's like a designer car, but a mech. I want to call it something super pretentious, like the final phase of existence or something.
Yeah, that's very pretentious. Look, dear, I'm just saying, a mech is a mech. And, like, eventually that thing's going to get dinged up, and you're going to need someone to take a look at it. Well, and I'm also eyeing Dyne as I say this, and, like, eventually I'm going to have to take a look at that.
I'm just looking between the two. I'm just looking between the two. I'm going, yeah, Evelene, I actually have instructions that for taking care of it that I was going to get to you, and I could hopefully you can get used to some of the systems. They're very different, but
yeah.
If you're okay with that, Dyne.
I have no problem with it.
Okay. All right, cool.
What is your mech called, by the way, Rock?
The final phase of existence.
Oh, so Torsay wasn't joking.
Torsay, realizing what you just did, just kind of like holds her hand up to her face and just like shakes her head.
That is... I'm sorry, dear. That is so pretentious.
Well,
just wait till you see it in action.
If it can be used as well as Rock handled the basic mech he had before, it may as well be the final phase of existence as Dyne walks out the door.
I'll be limping after you. Better, actually.
Astro gets up to leave to follow after the rest. He says to Torsay, hey, Torsay, let's go ahead and just send a message over to Kane Vagrants, to Shep 7, and just get a status update, see if they're working on anything. Nothing committal, just,
Yeah, I'll see what they have for us. I think the last time I talked to them, they did give me a little bit of info. They were mainly working like some like pass through, moving stuff through some contested areas in the periphery. They said that there might be some opportunities out there if we wanted to get directly involved with like local conflict support, but we'd have to contract with some of the regional governments out there. So up to you. It can be a little bit of a hive of disputes. I don't know if we want to get caught up in that, but I mean, there's work out there. CoreSec doesn't go out that far, so things can get a little messy.
All right, well, good to keep in the back of our minds. Thanks, Torsay.
She nods.
All right, let's hit the bar.
All right, and then, I think that's what the four of you do. We see the crew of the DBC head out to the mooring, which, as I described before, is kind of this elaborate bar set up with various windows and views of outside of the station. Very designer. It has a large kind of bar station in the center of the room that has like a column of drinks and various things. The last time you were here was a little hectic as people were sheltering in here as the station went on lockdown. Today is kind of more what the normal setup in the mooring is like. You see various people on and off shifts for various parts of the station, as well as this is kind of the place where people who aren't permanent members of the station definitely come. You see deals being done in booths. You see people over by windows, like remarking on ships coming in and out of dock. This is very much where people talk, and where people talk, information gets around.
Cool. Well, as we get here, Astro's just like, let's get a few drinks in us, Might as well enjoy ourselves while we're here on business.
Yeah, they don't mix well with the painkillers. I'll stick to non-alcoholic.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Your loss. And Astro will walk up to the bar and order some sort of futuristic cocktail.
Do you just go to whoever's there, or are you specifically looking for Tessie?
I'm looking for Tessie.
She's definitely there. Just as a reminder, Tessie is kind of unfazed. She's very, very svelte, but on the more like lean but powerful edge. She waits as you approach. She's kind of like eyeing you up. Evelene, predicting here that your order would be an appletini, but no, I don't quite think he's JD from Scrubs.
I was just gonna say.
Actually, I've heard they're pretty good, and I'd like to try one day. It seemed appropriate.
But yeah, as you approach, Tessie nods at you and says, "Well, the whole crew of you hasn't been here since the night you did a job for us. We could cash in your on the house tab tonight if you want."
Ooh, that sounds very good.
It should. You only get it once.
And I'll take you up on that.
She nods at you. She like pulls over one of the screens that's on the bar for you, and just is like, "All right, what are you in for?"
One long asteroid iced tea.
She's like, "Okay."
What the rest of you want?
Can I save mine for later?
Yeah, this is like the worst night for you to be for us having a drinking thing.
Rock will just have a water.
She nods.
I'll just have a space Guinness. I don't know. I this is Chuck talking. I don't know. I don't know good space drinks.
You don't all have to do puns. I appreciate the effort that you're putting into this. I truly
you're
do.
Being very generous by calling mine a pun.
Because the thing is, a lot of drinks are dumb puns. So you're definitely on brand.
I mean, okay, let me try again. Give me a rusty spaceman.
Rusty spaceman. Okay.
I don't know.
That's she can whip that up for you.
By the way, I was gonna say spaceman earlier as a made-up cocktail. Not rusty though. That's better.
I think our homework between now and next session is to come up with drink names.
And do you want anything done on the house?
Dyne will just be boring, and he'll be like, I'll just take whatever beer is on special today.
She nods. She like goes over to one of the taps and will like pour you out one. But yeah, like as she gets you guys lined up at the bar there, she gets you all your drinks, and for you, Graham, she slides you a water, but with it, she'll just like she also slides you the receipt for all of the drinks that Astro just ordered, and at the bottom it just said, like, it just has her signature on it, and it says +1 for +1 for Rock.
All right. At least I'll get a drink out of this later.
So, as he takes a sip of his long asteroid iced tea,
it's just various hard liquors from different parts of the galaxy. It's like one of those drinks that's like decently hard to assemble unless you have like a stocked bar, but every bar does its own take on these, because it's just like take 4 different hard liquors from like 4 different corners of the Cygnus state and pour them together, and that's what you get.
Yep. And all you need is like a little splash of Coke or whatever, and suddenly it, it doesn't even taste like that much liquor. That's why I never get it about Long Island iced teas. You can drink it and it doesn't feel like a heavy drink, but it is.
But it is also like one of the heaviest you can order.
Yeah. Anyway, so as he takes a sip of his drink, he says, "So, we're looking for more work. We know you keep an ear close to the ground. Is there anything we could help out on?"
She thinks a little bit about it. There's things that have come in and out of here. We've had a few other groups blow through here in the last couple of weeks, and I know Ren wants you on call in case something comes up, but I imagine you're not just going to wait around forever. Depends on what you're looking for. I have some contacts if you're looking for a specific type of work, or I have a few things that are a little more emergent, might pay a little better, but not quite sure what you're getting into.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what pays the best?
Well, if we're talking about what pays the best, I do have something for you, but I don't quite know what it is. We got a rep here in station. I think he's here right now. I could set up a meeting for you. He represents someone who has an interest in a periphery settlement. The way he described it, it's just a little bit of search and discovery, but it struck me as a little bit odd. So I haven't listed it yet. You can have first crack at it if you want.
How do you know it's well paying?
This guy was sent here specifically for this. It wasn't posted to the boards. He looks like he wants things done on the sly.
So
Usually,
it's not federal work?
I don't think so. Usually things that are a little more confidential pay for that.
I gotta say, I'm intrigued.
Could be interesting.
Could be.
Well,
ever since the dust up here in EoS, I think things are starting to calm down, but things went a little odd here too. Did you guys get all your sensor data to Ren from those things Barrow was lugging around?
we should have, yes.
Yeah, we definitely.
I believe we did. Why do you ask?
Sorry, real quick. Remind me again, how long ago was the mission, Bob?
About a week and a half. So
Okay.
Probably about close to 10 days, I think.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that.
So Asher's...
It's been enough time for the gate to cycle thrice, right? Like the gate basically in and out of the system opens and closes once, maybe twice a week, depending on the rotation. But like that's what they were timing it for. They were timing it to get maximum time before the gate at the edge of the system open and closed. Luckily, the DBC is equipped with something that can actually give you skip travel without the necessity of using the gate, so you guys can move around a little bit more swiftly than other outfits. But the ship cost Astro basically all of his savings to buy.
I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so Astro's like, why do you ask if you heard something interesting from Ren?
Yeah, they said things might be getting a little hectic here soon, and I don't know what that means. It seems like the information they were working on is of interest to a few different parties. they told a couple of the people who run different outfits on the station to kind of stay out of the way if anything comes up.
So is Ren expecting something bad's gonna happen, or what was the tone you got from them?
Tessie looks a little bit annoyed, like not at you, but like annoyed at thinking about her answer to this.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I wish I knew. She just kind of like looks out the window and kind of like back to all of you. And it's just like, there's something going on that I just wasn't told.
Is that common? Everyone takes a big swig.
I know a lot. Information's a bit of my thing. People come through here. People talk. And a lot of people are movers and shakers, like your outfit. Like Beryl was before whatever the hell stunt they tried to pull. When mercenaries roll through, when, corp security runs through, they all stop here, and usually that stuff funnels through me. I don't like being out of the loop.
Yeah, what were they trying to steal anyways?
I have no idea. I don't even know whose facility that was. Ren wouldn't tell me.
Well, whoever it was important enough that they were willing to get a giant drill.
That I heard about. That everyone has heard about. It's becoming a bit of a tall tale in the telling. I've heard people describe the drill like it's some sort of big mechanical beast in some tellings of the story.
Well, let me say, as someone who was there, it almost kind of felt like they were doing something right out of a movie scene.
Like a heist, you think?
What I was gonna say.
Oh God, that's right.
It's very cinematic.
Fortunately, I don't recall that scene ever being in one of Astro's movies.
Oh.
Yet.
Over the next few minutes, like you guys talk back and forth, you discuss like the current affairs of things, like how the cleanup's been going on the like the wreckage and all that, and what they've done with the recovered mechs of Beryl and stuff. And eventually she tells you, well, it seems like the contact I got for you all is ready to talk. They're here. I can send you over to their booth if you want to, discuss the job option.
Oh wow, they're here already. Yeah. I think let's at least hear them out.
And yeah, they will. Hold on a second.
Do we really want to ambush them with all of us?
Well,
sure.
Maybe a couple of us could talk to him. And I'm thinking...
I definitely think it should be at least Astro and one other person.
And I'm thinking
Astro being the leader.
Maybe someone wants to follow up with Ren, too, and see if you could get any information out of them.
Tell you what, I'll take Evelene and we'll head back to the ship and contact Ren.
Yeah,
you and Ron can head over and meet the contact.
Yeah, let me get this drink to go and I'll come with.
Just finish it here. Let's go.
And she just shotguns it.
As Dyne finishes his beer, puts it back down on the table.
It's not a big glass, Astro.
All right. Yeah. Let's. Why don't we order him a drink? Do you know what he wants? What he likes?
I don't.
I don't know who you were asking that to.
Oh, sorry. To Tessie, I say, has he ordered a drink?
No, not yet.
Well, let's get 3 beers.
All right, and she'll give you kind of the same pull off of the same tap that she just previously got to Dyne. And you said you're going to approach the booth with you and Rock?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys walk over. You see a man who is a limp.
Yeah.
You definitely catch his attention coming over. He's in like a very fine suit, like pressed, like perfect presentation of the suit. Has a little pocket square with just like a little J on the pocket square. He is wearing like very lightly tinted oval glasses. He's like balding, but you can tell what's left of his hair is like pitch black. His facial look is very, you would lose this guy in a crowd, right? It's like he doesn't have any super outstanding features aside he's a little bit balding, and he has kind of like the widow's peak with a receding hairline going on. And he's just sitting very businesslike. It's one of those booths that's almost like a C, right? Like it goes in, around, and then back around. And he's not sitting in the back of the seat. He's like sitting on one of the sides of the table. And he just like is sitting there in the chair. He has his hands folded, and he like is looking at you two as you approach.
I'll take one of the beers off the tray and say, "Hi there. Thought you might enjoy a drink."
Ah, yes, I'll join you. Thank you. He'll just very cordially take the beer and set it in front of him. He like takes like one of the napkins, like folds it into a little square, sets it to the side of him very neatly, and then like gently places the beer on top of it, like directly dead center.
I'll take a seat and I'll say, "Name's Astro. This here is Graham. You can call him Rock. Most of us do."
Nice to meet you. My name is John Smith.
Wow, that's a very nice name you have.
Very common.
Yes, very, very good. Oh, I hear you might be looking for a crew that could do some work for you.
I am at that. I believe our mutual friend, Tessie Mendels, has mentioned to you that I am here representing a group that has some interest in the periphery.
She did, and she didn't give much more details other than that.
Ah, excellent. Well, I represent an organization that has a recent interest in some things that are happening in a asset. I don't want to disclose any more until I know that I have some people on board for this mission. So if you would, just ask me the questions that you require in order to complete and agree to the mission, and I will provide you with what I can.
Well, what kind of job is it? Is it recovery?
Contact, perhaps retrieval. Very likely there could be some investigation involved.
What kind of risk?
Oh, probably very minimal.
We did a job like that before, and we got attacked by pirates.
A crew that doesn't plan for pirates in the periphery is a poor one indeed.
We plan for anything, but it's also nice to know what we might be getting ourselves into. Will we be traveling to any sector of space that is unstable?
Instability is a bit of a characteristic of the region, but as of our last contact with the settlements, they were still firmly stable.
And how much is this paying?
This is like the trigger for them to like move their beer aside, like clear out a little area in front of them. They pull up a little like very proper briefcase. They snap the two sides up, lift the like lid of it like to like against either of you. You hear them rustling around. They pull out a paper, they close it, they very neatly snap it, they set it next to them, and they pull out a piece of paper, and as they turn it around to you and like push it to your side of the table, you see a little bit of paperwork. Most of this page has redacted information on it, so you see like long, thick black lines all over it. But the number you see at the bottom is very much in excess of triple what you would normally get paid for such a simple job.
I was hoping he was going to do the thing where he slides a piece of paper across the table. It's my favorite. Astro looks at it and he's like, "Ooh!" And then he tries to regain his cool, and he's like, "Yeah, seems appropriate. Allow me to show this to my associate." And I'll just
this
push the
reminds me
paper
of how much
towards
money I earned
Rock.
from that one movie.
Does this job put other lives at risk for what we're doing?
I think it's unclear. Once you agree to the mission, I can give you a little bit more information. But what I can tell you up front is there is a settlement on a planet that we have lost contact with and need to reestablish that contact and support supply structure.
Main goal being to assist the settlement.
It is one of the main assets of the people I represent. And it is important that we see to the safety and efficiency of the settlement.
Like the colonists?
Oh, I'm sure.
Right.
Is research being conducted on this settlement?
I don't know quite what you mean by research, but this is a very quickly evolving situation. A recon team sent from the Corps would take a little while to get where we needed to go. So I have been contacted as one of the regional representatives to search out a team that can get things done a little bit more expediently.
Okay, so basically you want us to fly out to the settlement, reestablish contact, report back to the people you represent.
I will give you more of the specifics once we have a working contract, but the parameters of the mission are roughly reestablish contact with the settlement, discover why we lost contact with the settlement, and do what needs be done to reestablish our connection and supply structure with the settlement.
Now, I understand you probably can't give me specifics right now, but just tell me, does your organization have any theories about why you lost contact with the settlement?
Theories are a poor excuse for actual information. I can give you what telemetry we have, but that will be contingent on you being who we're working with. Another one of the requirements for this mission would be your discretion on any findings you might come across during the course of the mission. We are very specifically not working with CoreSec in this because they tend to overreact, and we would not want to impact the supply or show any weakness to competitors.
Okay. Well, Rock, do you have any additional questions?
Just shake my head.
Well, we will have to discuss this with the rest of our team.
Well, I would appreciate it if you got back to me as soon as possible. If I am unable to find assistance with this, I will need to take other measures. Thank you for meeting with me.
Understood.
He, like, takes the briefcase, like, off the table. He, like, off the seat next to him. He, like, very properly stands up. He, like, adjusts his suit. Says,
your
yes.
name is literally John Smith. If we want to talk to you again, should we just assume you'll be sitting here?
I'll be on station. You should be able to contact me through the station comms channels. Just send me a message once you've made a decision. We can meet again in person when you need to discuss what we expect of you.
Very well.
Astro, I don't think his name is John Smith.
I kind of got that sense as well. So tell me, Rock, what's your feeling about this job? Seems a little cloak and dagger, huh?
It just feels very corporation to me. I don't have a problem with the job, and in fact, I think it might be best for us to take it, because if there are settlers or civilians there, they are probably not the priority for what they're looking for, and if we go and we do a good enough job, we might be able to help people.
Yeah, I just hope we don't agree to this, and then we find ourselves doing something unethical.
Well, you can always put in a clause to the agreement.
Oh, then we have to get into a debate about what is ethics.
Yeah, that's the issue here.
Well, we can talk to Evelene and Dyne, get their take on it, but boy, this is a lot of money. I have to say, it would be nice to get this kind of payout. This could really smooth things over for a few months.
Yeah, Dyne might be able to create a few more holes.
Just give you a flat stare. Don't even joke about that. My beautiful ship. Tarnished.
And, some people say a ship isn't a ship until it's, had a debilitating hole through it and repaired.
Now
What
it has
people
character.
say that? Find me the person who says that, and I'll fight them.
It's not. It's an icebreaker. Like it's a conversation starter. So, this happened when we were testing out one of our more powerful mechs. That's how badass we are.
Yeah, we were testing the mech in the ship, and we decided to see how much of a beating the DBC would take. So we fired the weapon.
Fire the weapon! All right.
I mean, we didn't want to damage the mech.
True. And, you've spent a little bit of time here, Astro and Rock, you kind of, talk a little bit about, like, what this means, what the mission is, what you'll have to talk about, kind of like discussing what your read of John Smith was. While you're doing this, you all start to notice that other people in the bar are all getting distracted by something. Like there's like a wave of like noticing happening across the bar as you start to notice people's kind of attention being dragged in a direction.
I'll follow their eyes. What are they looking at?
So as you look, you kind of like stand up and like turn around because you're kind of in the booths area. You start to move around and you start to notice they're all looking out the windows into space.
Uh-oh. I'll walk up to the window.
As you guys walk up to the windows, you see very quickly what everyone's looking at. Indeed, it's quite obvious what everyone is looking at, as an entire battle group of CoreSec ships is slowly approaching the station.
Huh.
There is like a mini flotilla of 7 ships, led by a flagship of frigates, all CoreSec, all, very proper. It's very much like a show of force battle line as it slowly approaches the station. From here, you can just barely make out the insignia and etching on the side of the flagship that at the very least Rock would recognize, but is readable as the flagship, the Garmer, GARMR. Additionally, Rock, you would notice that this, as far as you're aware, is probably the first frigate squadron of CoreSec's first fleet.
Maybe we should accept that job and get out of here sooner rather than later.
I'm starting to think you're right. This is starting to make me feel uncomfortable. Military showing up. I'll walk over to the bar, and try to find Tessie again.
Tessie's there. She's like looking out the window, like from the bar, like in the same direction everyone else is as you approach her.
So, was the station expecting a big fleet?
Not as far as I was aware. This is great. Just great.
You think this is what Ren was talking about?
Probably. I wish they would have just come out and told me. This is bad.
What do you think they want?
I don't know. CoreSec usually doesn't come this far out of the inner sphere. I'm surprised to see them here, truthfully, even if it is just a flotilla.
Did the station send out a distress call?
We might have.
During all the action?
I'm not sure what happened in the few moments after Beryl first took over until everyone was taken into custody or, everyone was kicked out of the command room and Beryl took over, but it's very possible they're here in response to that. It's just, if the situation's under control, why are they here now?
Yeah.
How long do we have until the jump gate is closed?
It was open today, I think, so it'll probably close in the next 12 hours, and then we're looking at another 4 or 5 days before it opens back up.
I just give Astro a look.
All right. Thanks, Tessie. I think we're gonna have to go check on the others.
She kind of waves you off a little bit, very obviously dealing with her own shit.
Yeah.
And then Dyne and Evelene, you guys had already stepped away before all this took place, before the meeting with John Smith even took place. You said you were headed back to the DBC, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you guys get back to the DBC. Torsay is already kind of doing a lot of systems checks. At this point, all the supplies and reloads and all that have been loaded onto the ship. She's very much getting things ready to be prepared for when you guys are ready to go, but it's in no means ready to lift off. It's one of those things where she wants to be ready, but you guys can leave, now or a week from now. It doesn't it's not like she's getting the car warmed up so much as everything's packed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But she's kind of in the control room, up in the bridge, in her operator chair, kind of where she normally is to support Rock while he does the main piloting. Just kind of lounged in her seat. She has a system diagnostic running while she's leaned back in a chair reading a comic. As you guys come into the control room.
We come in, we're like, hey, how's it going?
She like looks up at you and like pops a little hard pretzel into her mouth, and as she turns up, oh, good, everything looks fine.
Well, Astro and Rock are currently talking to someone about a potential job, and we're gonna try and contact Ren and see if she has anything for us.
Well, I can pull them up for you on the comm system.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, why don't you guys just come on in? Let me, we've been trying to get a hold of Ren for various things over the past few weeks, but I hope they pick up. Torsay just kind of like sends out you can see basically main screen turn on, right? Like the main screen of the bridge just kind of like comes up, the video call goes out, and it connects. And you see Ren kind of on the other side of the video feed, just kind of like seated at a very much like an executive's table. There's like a very simple, kind of elegant workstation with a few pages set to one side. Obviously, efficiency is like very evident in Ren's office. But they look out at you and yes, Dyne, Evelene, it's good to see you.
Yeah, how's it been going? Long time no talk.
It's been going fine ever since I've gotten control of things again. Everything is back in place, and I have most of my ducks all lined up. It would be nice if people who tried to kill me and take over my station didn't cause so much property damage.
At least that means they're trying.
I guess I should take that as a compliment.
Right.
I haven't talked to you all for a little bit. How are you settling in?
We've been doing pretty good. It seems that thanks to your help, we've prepared, we've updated our stuff. We are pretty well settled.
Yeah, and I definitely want to thanks again for that trainer. Noridian? Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh, yes, Nilirian. How are you getting on with him?
Oh, he's been great. I've been learning so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yes. From my experience, he's one of the best. It's a shame.
Oh?
I'm not going to tell his story for him, but Nilirian is a bit of a tragic hero as far as I'm concerned.
Well, if he wants to open up, he can open up. If not, it's none of my business.
Yes, quite. Well, what did you need to talk to me about today?
Well, we're all settled in. We're just wondering if you did have any jobs for us. I mean, we are a mercenary group, so, you know.
Oh, sure. I told you all that I would let you know once I had something else for you. In the meantime, what I've provided should be more than enough.
Yeah, well, I am aware. However, kind of just getting antsy. Just staying in one place. I can put you in
contact with some of the people I know. I am in contact with various other movers and shakers out here. A few people I'd like to shore up my political clout with, so if you could do some jobs for me to kind of put me in good books with them, let them know I sent you, I can expand my network a little bit.
Well, if you'd be willing to set us up with the contact, then sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's the least we can do.
I'll look into it. There's a few people who've been a little stingy with their resources, and I think we could grease those wheels a little bit.
Sounds like a plan to me.
I'll kind of put my hand to my mouth and whisper over to Dyne. Like, do they mean like you attacking people, or I'm not good at this kind of language.
Depends on what they need. We'll find out.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm glad that everything is going well and all the repairs are coming through, but I did notice recently that I thought all your repairs were complete, but I just got an invoice for various amounts of carbon fiber steel and supports and... Was there something you weren't?
Well, we were testing the new weapon on the Prometheus, and, well, we had a bit of a... I had to fire the weapon in order to prevent the mech from exploding.
Well, that's, don't blow up on my station, please.
I felt like a hole in the DVC was cheaper than a hole in the station.
I agree with you.
Well, thank you, Ren. Just let us know when you make some of those contacts.
I think I will. They kind of look at their workstation, kind of like a thin little laptop with a few pages set next to it, and they look kind of flustered for a moment, and they just say, I've had something come up, but I'll contact you soon. And they kind of smile as the screen just blips out.
Everything all right? And
as you're asking, like the screen just goes.
Well, that's certainly not ominous, and we'll totally not see the repercussions of that soon.
I go, Torsay, is there any problem in the station? Ren looked really flustered.
An alarm or something?
Torsay is just like, oh, really? I didn't notice. Torsay just kind of like sets her bag of pretzels aside, like dusts her fingers off, licks one of them, and like looks at like her diagnostic and like moves it off to one window, and like, oh, let me just pull up what's going on. Oh, that's odd.
A good odd or a bad odd?
Or both.
Probably bad. She like turns the screen towards you guys, and you see like an external camera feed of the station with something that like both of you would recognize as a Cygnus state like flotilla battle fleet, like, or at least part of a fleet. You guys aren't as like familiar with CoreSec or what they're like, but both of you would definitely recognize like very obviously like a military formation outside of the station. And Torsay is just like, yeah, there's looks like CoreSec is here for some reason.
They're a little late to be helping with Beryl, which means
way too late.
This is big problems.
The rest of the fleet seems to be just kind of moored out there, but it looks like the flagship's coming into dock.
Which dock?
It's a... Oh, it's not docking, it's just... Huh. It looks like there's a kind of like a VIP procession space almost, like some sort of little bridge connector that's being extended up in admin. I didn't even know they had that here.
So what you're telling me is we got to go check that out.
She like looks at you confused. Is like, why would we get involved with CoreSec?
Well, I mean, if it concerns Ren, and we work for Ren, I think we're involved.
Evelene, I think it's probably a safe option to stay here.
You're boring.
I would rather not deal with the military if I can avoid it, at least directly.
Okay, I mean, we're gonna find out eventually. I think at this rate.
Torsay like leans back in her chair and puts her hands behind her head and just thinks for a second. It's like, well, I guess Evelene has a point. If Ren needs something, it would really suck to lose our gravy train.
Right. Like have you seen what we'll be able to put together with their funding?
Well, getting to Ren is going to be a bit of a challenge, especially if the military is here, but who knows what they're actually here for.
Up to you all. I mean, there hasn't been any official news feeds that have come over the station's intranet, but
all I'm saying is, like, if we just happen to be at the mech hangar when they show up, we might be able to see what's going on. You know, just by coincidence. I mean, there's no harm in loitering, is there?
With the military? Yes.
That's dumb. Why would that ever be a problem?
Because if they don't want you involved, well, they tend to just remove you.
I guess there's no reason they can't do that. I don't know. I guess I've mostly been lucky not having to deal with the military.
Yeah, and I'm sure Rock can tell you all about it.
Yeah, probably would.
Well, let's wait for Astro and Rock to come back, and we can decide what we want to do. At least discuss what they learned from their end.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happens here. You guys wait around a little bit. Astro and Rock, you get back. You find out that kind of like the rest of your crew is up in the control room right now, so I imagine you head up there to meet with them.
Yeah, Astro will go up there and he says, "Hey, everyone, CoreSec's here."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we noticed.
Yeah, Ren didn't sound too happy about that when we were talking to them.
Oh, you did talk to Ren. Did they tell you anything about why the CoreSec might be here?
They seemed, just before Ren hung up, they seemed just as surprised as we did, as we were when we found out they were even here.
Unfortunately, that's all we got to go by.
Oh,
I wanted to check out where they were docked and see if we could find something out, but apparently messing with the military is a bad idea now.
Are you being sarcastic? Because messing with the military is definitely a bad idea. Even I know that one.
I mean, apparently this is common knowledge because I didn't know that.
How about we take a job to help some settlement that is lost contact and move about our business quickly so we can leave before the gate closes and we're stuck here for another week?
Yeah, we just to update you two, or you three, we spoke to a guy. His name was John Smith. Pretty sure that's not his real name, but that's what he goes by. And he told us a little bit about what we would be doing. A lot of it he wouldn't divulge until we accept the mission, but it sounds like we have to make contact with a settlement that they've lost contact with, figure out why they lost contact with them, and assess the situation. So, seems straightforward. I'm sure it's not, because it pays a lot. And I'll just hand Dyne the paper.
Dyne will just whistle.
Does he? Woo! That's a good amount. That's a good
Dyne
amount.
will whistle because Jeremy can't.
I'm in the same boat.
I can't whistle either. Look, who can?
Am I the only one here that can whistle?
I think so.
I could do a shitty whistle, so I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah, I'm about there. I can do a shitty whistle.
That's better than
I
I can
whistled
do.
and I didn't clip the mic. How about that?
Hey.
Okay, Torsay, about how long until the gate closes?
I mean, well, if we need to skip off of it to get a little speed, we could use it, but I mean, with the DBC, we don't really need to wait on it. Is there something we need the speed for?
Well, I guess another question is how far do we know where the location of the settlement is? I mean, did he give us that information?
They haven't given you any information yet. You would have to schedule another meeting with John Smith to basically accept the mission and go over what he has.
Here's what I propose. We wait 30 minutes, see if we hear back from Ren. If not, we schedule another meeting with John Smith.
Yeah,
give Ren a little bit of time to figure out what's going on.
That sounds good, and maybe we afterwards we can contact Ren and just let them know we're going to be taking on another mission. If Ren needs us, they could tell us to stay put.
Well, that's why I propose we wait a little bit. I have a feeling that if she does need us, she'll probably contact us soon. Well, hopefully.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right, so yeah, what do you all do? Like, what's your first response into what's happening right now? So I know where to take you guys scene wise.
Let's so I'll ask Torsay, like, hey Torsay, while we wait, can you just like monitor like the feeds and see what kind of information you can get about why this flotilla has arrived from CoreSec?
I mean, nothing official has been posted. It's like they're not even acknowledging the fleet is here. But I mean, the internal comms are blowing up. It looks like a lot of people on little local message boards just asking each other what's happening. But nothing official is coming down from the station right now.
Okay.
We could just ask Ren when we get back from our mission what happened, right? I just don't feel like we need to be here.
Yeah, I'd like to. Trust me, I'd like to hightail it out of here right now. I just Ren's been a good benefactor to us. I don't want to leave them high and dry.
Torsay kind of like leans back in her chair and thinks about it a little bit too. It's like, well, it's up to you, Captain, but I mean, Ren didn't call us in for anything. We have a job opportunity, and I mean, if it comes down to it, what are we going to do? Stand up to CoreSec? They have a fleet out. They have a large portion of a fleet parked outside.
Yeah, I don't know what we could do to them, and even if we did take action,
if we took action against CoreSec, we'd be labeled as rebels or something.
Intergalactic fugitives. I definitely don't want that kind of high-profile status.
Yeah, that would suck. We should really take that mission and go.
Let's at least wait a half hour. Just make sure
they're not gonna...
Ren doesn't contact us.
Sorry. What's the worst that can happen in 30 minutes?
They lock down the station.
That they want to interview us because we came across that alien.
Even so, we still have to meet with John Smith again. Suppose we can make that meeting now in the 30 minutes that we're waiting.
Probably take at least a half an hour.
Well, let's contact John Smith, set up a second meeting at the bar in what, say, an hour?
Why wait? He's probably still there.
All right, say 30 minutes.
Yeah, let's set it up in 30 minutes. Just give Ren a chance to contact us if they need anything.
Torsay will nod and say, "Okay, well, I'll reach out to the John Smith fellow and see if he's amenable to another meeting so soon."
Taps into the comms. 50 John Smiths.
She goes, actually, she taps into comms and goes, that's odd.
What?
Yeah, I mean, there's a John Smith on here, that's for sure.
Is there only one? Or?
And?
I mean, unlike every other John Smith on this list, there's no other data on his profile.
Yeah.
That would probably be him.
She pulls up the profile of the person you're trying to contact, and it looks like a dossier, but it's just the picture of the guy you met with, the name John Smith, and then every other part of the profile is empty.
That checks out. He was very, very secretive.
Okay, well, I'll send him a message.
Yeah, I have a feeling he works for some pretty powerful people as a covert agent or something.
And, after a minute or two, Torsay reports to you all that, yeah, he's ready to have a meeting whenever you'd like.
All right, tell him we will meet him back at the bar in a half hour.
He says he'll be there.
Excellent.
So, what is the difference between being mysterious and just being boring?
I don't know. I can't tell.
Just saying. I mean, maybe this guy's just super boring, and that's why they hired him. It's easy to forget a boring person.
He did look very generic.
Probably the mask.
Didn't have that it factor to make it in space Hollywood.
Yeah, he didn't have the star power.
Look, all I'm saying is there's some people who just stand out. You know where they are. You can pick them out in the crowd. They stand out in the room.
Right.
Or,
I definitely cast him as an extra.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Astro definitely clocks this guy as he would make a perfect professional extra.
There's no reason there's the opposite.
He could be bank teller number 2.
Okay.
The one that doesn't have any speaking lines. It's the bank teller to the right of the bank teller that the protagonist walks up and talks to.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, you guys, do you guys go as a group of 4 down to meet with John Smith this time, or are you sending the same 2 back?
I think, yeah.
Yeah,
no, I'm staying at the ship.
Okay.
You're going to stay at the ship? Okay.
So,
I met him already. I'm good. I stay at the ship.
Probably worn out from using that crutch the whole time, too.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, yeah, Torsay will hang out with you while you're back here at the ship, as the other 3 of you head back to the mooring to meet with John Smith. You get there, and it doesn't take any longer for you guys to just walk in before Tessie clocks you all and just kind of nods her head towards a booth where those of you, the 2 of you who haven't met him before, he almost looks like a still frame image. He's so proper, very perfect posture, just seated at the table. He has a single glass of water, dead center of a napkin just to his right and a little bit forward, and he's just seated at one edge of the booth, and as he sees you walk over, he turns his head to clock you all coming over and just nods to you.
Good to see you again, John Smith. These are my other 2 associates, Dyne and Evelene.
Ah, nice to meet you, Dyne and Evelene.
How's it going? And I'll put out my hand.
He'll reach and give you a very proper handshake. And he says, my name is John Smith, and I had the honor of discussing some business with your colleagues.
Yes, and since then, some interesting happenings have been going on in the station.
Oh,
I don't
yes,
suppose...
I assume you're referring to CoreSec's arrival, is that correct?
Yes.
Ah, yes. I did note that was a bit of a deviation from what I expected, but...
Will it be a problem for this job?
Not at all. I merely ask that you don't reveal anything I tell you to them.
Well, we don't plan to speak to them, at any rate, so you have my word on that.
It seems our intentions align, then.
So, I talked it over with the rest of the group, and we are interested in taking the job.
Perfect. They kind of reach over, pull up the same briefcase they did before, and the rest of you kind of see this happen. He sets the briefcase in front of him, just clicks both things up, pulls up the top, reaches in. You hear a couple people shuffle, grabs a paper out, closes it, sets the briefcase to the side of him, and just kind of slides a paper across it. And it's just a very standard contract with where you would need to sign at the bottom to basically take up the mission.
Okay. Can I just try to read through it to see if there's any interesting fine print?
Yeah, make a pilot skill check.
Okay.
For reading legalese.
Reading legalese. Could investigate work on this?
You're definitely searching something, but I wouldn't call what you're searching particularly adaptable to you. You're not specifically finding something so much as you're interpreting what's there. It's almost like you found too much something and you need to figure out like what's extraneous.
Can I aid him in this as someone who's performed a lot of jobs for different people and had to accept many contracts over the years?
You know what? As like a conditional thing, I would allow you to like give him aid on this.
Yeah.
So we'll add 1 accuracy to your roll since you have Dyne here helping you out.
Okay, so it's just a straight roll with accuracy.
Yeah, if you don't have any skill triggers to or your background to invoke.
Okay,
well,
how do I just
have
do
a grit?
Oh, will this work? I think that works. So,
you added 0 accuracy. Just roll a 1d6.
Well, okay, so I rolled
you just rolled a d20 plus 1, which is your grit, but you still need to roll a d6 for the accuracy that Dyne is providing.
Okay, yeah, so I rolled a 14, so I'll roll a d6 now.
Okay, 2.
Okay, I rolled a 2.
Yeah, so 16 solidly successful. You read through it. It's very standard in terms of contract. It's very much... It's the type of contract that is like one of those pre-printed contracts almost that kind of has like everything's very standard. It doesn't give a lot of information about what you're actually requested to do. But what it does do is in various parts of the contract, it references per clause blank and per blank and stuff like that isn't actually on the contract you're reading. And like you ask about it and he's like, yes, I can provide you with that information. And you basically force him to give you a little bit more information about it before you sign off on it. What you're able to figure out is, from examining the contract, is that there are penalties that you would incur if you don't successfully complete the contract. And it still doesn't list directly who is assigning you the job, but because there has to be a party 1 on the contract, it's as if John Smith himself is hiring you, right? John Smith is listed as the person hiring you rather than the company he represents. And what Dyne is able to give you a little bit of insight on here is like that's what companies will do to obscure who's actually the people behind the money. But otherwise, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of loopholes here, except very specifically what the contract asks you to do is reestablish contact with this periphery settlement that he's been talking about, reestablish kind of the trade set, like the trade supply lines to and from the settlement, and determine the cause of the loss of communication. There is a clause under determining the loss of communication that strikes you as odd. So that's a big part of what your success here gets you, which it basically comes out like it is implied in the contract that they expect you to deal with whatever caused the loss of contact.
Gotcha. All right. Well, this looks like everything's in order. I'll turn to Dyne and Evelene. You both okay with this?
Seems like it.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. I just sign here.
Yes, please.
All right, take out a pen, and I write a very elaborate signature with like a lot of flourishes.
You autograph the contract.
I autograph it, basically.
Force of habit.
And I hand it back to him and I say, "No, I don't want to see you selling this on eBay."
He like just raises one eyebrow at you and kind of like looks at you, kind of like unfazed. It's like, I think that would go against the quietness I'm trying to operate with.
Yes, of course. But you know who I am, right? Flashes him a smile.
Dyne just rolls his eyes.
You just sign your name on the contract. You can just read that.
John Smith kind of like is ignoring you guys talking to each other as he like very carefully places your signed contract back into his briefcase to his side and like clicks it closed next to him. And he says, "Well, now I can give you some more information on the mission. What do you need to know?"
Well, first of all, where is this settlement?
Yes, it is a small settlement in the Jocophy system. It was named with a series of alphanumeric symbols that I don't think will give you much more information, but suffice to say I can give you a very specific data on how to arrive there.
What kind of planet is it? Is it a hostile environment?
Not hostile per se. It is not entirely repellent into life, but it is very much scrubland over much of it.
You said we were to reestablish trading the settlement. What kind of things do you trade with the settlement? Do they produce material?
They do limited manufacturing at the settlement, but more importantly is the raw resources they're sitting upon.
What kind of raw resources?
They are next to a deposit of some iridium allium. It is, as I'm sure some of you are aware, and he like looks a little bit at Evelene as if he knows who you are.
I was going to ask.
Yeah. I'm sure some of you know is one of the essential components in some ship reactors.
Is there like a way for me to recall information about this, Bob, or do I just know? Or I don't know if
this is just something you know from your background. You don't need to make a check for something you would know. Iridium allium is a compound that is basically like a rare earth metal or a rare earth resource that isn't available all over the place, but where it's located is heavily secret, and most companies that mine and distribute it do so with a lot of protections, because it's a very rare resource and it is used in a lot of ship drives that are able to get people around the universe. They're simultaneously worth a lot and also a strategic resource. It's simultaneously like a dangerous thing to know and a valuable thing to know.
Just because of how valuable it is, people probably desire it a lot, very much.
All of your war machines use it, right? Like, powering the reactors in an MC, powering the reactors of the DBC, all use it in trace amounts as part of its reactor and part of the fuel rods you would use.
Okay, that determines my reaction. Ooh, that's some big shit there, boys. That's really big.
I guess that explains the paycheck.
Yeah.
This also explains why I've heard rumors that there's been some supply issues lately.
I imagine that would be of interest to people in the manufacturing. But yes, the company I represent is very interested in keeping our supply secure.
I don't suppose we're allowed to know what company you represent.
I am a representative of Manticorp.
Okay.
Huh.
And will you be our point of contact during this mission?
Yes, I'm afraid that I'm your only point of contact. If things were to go wrong, we would disavow you.
Yeah, I kind of figured
Don't cause
as
any
much.
trouble.
Yeah, I mean, that unfortunately checks out, given the material.
Seems about right.
Should
Not my
we
first
be...
rodeo with this type of situation.
As I said before, we like to prepare for most contingencies, but should we be expecting some kind of resistance when we arrive on the planet?
I don't imagine what kind of resistance could stand up to a contingent of Lancers with a ship at their disposal.
Well, true. But I guess what I'm getting at is, do you think you lost contact with this settlement because of hostile forces?
I will be frank, the periphery is a dangerous, sometimes unstable area, and we deal with a variety of things like claim jumpers, and contracts can get muddy outside of where CoreSec patrols, and I wouldn't be surprised if another corporation got wind of where our supplies were, if they'd want to take part in a little bit of corporate espionage to claim the area for themselves. It's not unheard of, but it is unlikely. I think we've been careful in that regard.
Another thing, how many people live in this settlement?
About 300.
And how long ago did you lose contact with them?
5 days.
Do they usually check in every day?
Often multiple times a day, yes.
Very interesting. I do love a mystery.
Well, I think the mystery is going to present itself pretty quickly when we land, as Dyne gets up and prepares to leave.
One thing before you go. It is very important to us that we don't involve other parties in this.
Okay. Understood.
No problem.
Is there a... Okay, yeah. Sure, I mean... Okay.
We plan to leave pretty much immediately.
Excellent. Then I can count on your expediency.
Yeah, we're kind of eager to leave this station, what with CoreSec being here now.
He nods in a way that is, you can very much interpret as him taking that information like he'll want to use that later.
Okay.
He nods in a smug way.
Yeah, maybe they've had run-ins with the law or something.
He nods in a way that's like, I'm glad you told me that. I'll add that to my dossier.
When he nods kind of smugly, Astro's gonna kind of stammer and just say, who knows what they're up to? It just doesn't seem like a good sign.
He also, as you're talking to him, he's standing up, clipping together his briefcase, and in the middle of you still stammering to him, he's like, Manticorp expects results. I hope to hear from you soon. And he'll just turn on a dime and leave.
His dossier in Astro was like, average movies, afraid of CoreSec.
Perfect.
He's basically do you guys ever watch Parks and Recreation?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I imagine him as like Ben Wyatt whenever he's around police officer. He just like completely loses his cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They have guns.
Oh, Ben's such a good character.
Yeah.
All right, Astro, time to put on your big boy pants. Let's go.
All right. Well, got a good job lined up. Should all goes well. That's a good payout. Could afford some steak dinners after this.
You broke up there. What was that again?
Oh, you said we could afford some steak dinners after this.
Well, let's not blow it all in one place as long as we make it back alive.
Where do you buy? Where do you get steak dinners from? They're that expensive.
Well, I mean, like real meat can be hard to come by. Anyway, let's head back to the ship and get prepped.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, so yeah, you guys head back to the DBC. Rock, you've kind of been back on the DBC, purposefully like staying on the ship with Torsay, not going out with the rest of the crew, kind of like leaning on your injury a little bit here. What do you do back in the DBC while you wait for the rest of your crew to return?
Not much. Just prepare for them to get back and get ready to launch.
Yeah, and I assume you're up in the control room with Torsay because you're kind of like prepping the engines, making sure everything's loaded up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Torsay is kind of just like lounging in her operator seat a little bit, just kind of like where she's been this whole time. And she kind of like looks across at you and is like, how's your leg feeling?
Oh, it'll be fine. I just need to give it a little bit of time.
Pedals aren't going to give you any trouble?
No, none at all. I could walk fine if Dyne would let me.
Well, he just cares about everyone's safety.
Yeah, it's like it's his job or something.
I know, right? Anyway, what do you think about this mission we're taking?
It gets us out of here.
Okay, yeah, well, we were starting to stagnate on the station a little bit. It's nice to know where your next meal's coming from, but it's boring.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly some sort of megacorp that wants to just make sure their resources are fine. I'm more concerned about the people that are there. Hopefully, if we take this mission and they do end up accepting, we can help them out.
Aw, bleeding heart?
More like I just know what to accept or expect from these corporations, and we can do better than that.
It's not like you're wrong. Well, yeah, I'm about ready to get going too, but you seem real antsy to get going. Something get under your skin?
No, I'm fine. Has there been any messages since they've been gone?
Let me check. She sits back up in her chair, like goes through the previous messages, and is like, yeah, actually, it looks like, oh, that'll be annoying. She looks up at you and is like, didn't you already send all of your, like, sensor data to Ren?
Yes, we did.
Well, they're basically asking us to like, make sure we send all of the sensor data to them, and Ren's asking us to wipe our backups of the data.
Is it coming from Ren, for sure?
That's what the account says.
Can you make a physical backup drive of it?
She, like, looks at you curiously. Why?
Because
yes, obviously.
Because if they don't want us to have it, I want to have it.
You don't think this is like Ren getting pressured, do you?
I think that we should make things easy for Ren, but I don't want to give.
Okay, yeah, that's fine with me. I'll
Hey, don't tell the others.
Oh, okay. I'll copy some things onto a physical drive. I mean, do you want to hold on to it then?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll do it now. You see, she like pulls out what you would describe as like one of those hard case like clamshells that you would have like a series of discs in.
Yeah.
She opens up one of those, and it's like a series of discs in there, but this is just funny to me, so this is how the system works. But when you ask for a physical like device, she basically takes out like from this little clamshell like fan open thing, like a tiny hard drive that looks like a UMD. Do you guys know what a UMD is?
Yeah.
Googling it right now.
UMD,
They're those
like
little
PlayStation
fucking weird
portable?
cartridge discs that you had for the PSP.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like
those.
it's like a halfway.
Oh.
It's like halfway between a cartridge and a disc.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
huh.
I think they look hilarious. So that's
back
what
when
they
I
are.
had it, back,
So
I
she
was
pulls
imagining
out.
I was imagining like an 8-track.
back when I had a PSP, I used to even buy movies on UMD.
Yeah, they're great. I have
Dude, they're crazy.
I have Standalone Complex on UMD. But yeah, she takes out this little UMD appropriate to her setting. She takes out the UMD and like plugs it in. You hear it spin up, and she pulls it out, and she's like, "All right, well, I wiped the data. I sent what copies we had over to Ren. Here you go. What are you going to do with it?"
I don't know yet.
All right, well, keep me in the loop.
Are you sure? I mean, it's pretty clear that what I'm doing isn't... Well...
I'm already party to it. Yeah, keep me in the loop.
All right.
Big meanie. She like closes her clamshell and sets it aside.
I don't know how it's being mean. I gave you an out.
Treating me like a child. I'm not Astro.
We both know I would never treat you like Astro.
She like gives you a goofy grin as like a thanks, like an over exaggerated thanks kind of smile.
Yeah.
Man, my ears have been burning a lot this session.
But yeah, so like while you guys are doing this, I think the rest of the crew comes back from their meeting with John Smith.
All right, yeah. Once we get back, I'll just say, "Oh, okay, we're on." Did you folks hear anything from Ren while we were gone?
They just wanted copies of our data from that alien thing that we fought again.
Didn't we already send them that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's for CoreSec.
Oh.
All the more reason we should probably leave before they request us in person.
All right, well, let's go. I'm not liking the sound of them more and more.
Let's just give Ren a courtesy call. Let them know we're going to be taking on a mission.
Okay,
Be out
I mean,
for a
that's
few
fine.
days.
That's fine, but maybe we should just leave a message for them. I mean, they're clearly busy, as I'll just motion out towards the fleet.
This seems like it'd be the polite thing to do.
The picket line of literal warships.
I think it'd
okay.
be kind of rude to call them at the moment, and also, if we call them, it leaves us open to, staying longer.
Well, you're very eager to get out. I mean, I'm uncomfortable with them too, but what do you think they're going to do?
It's the military. What won't they do?
Look,
I
I
guess,
assume
but-
that we did accept a mission from some sort of corporation, right?
Yep.
Well, he wouldn't exactly divulge.
Well,
he did. Manticore.
Right?
I'm sorry. It's for Manticore.
Right.
And
Megacorp.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's for frickin' iridium aluminum. Like, that's pretty valuable shit.
Yes. See, this is what I alluded to before when we left the bar, Astro. Megacorps, you can understand them. You know what they're going to do. You can practically list out what's going to happen from a book if you're really paying attention to them.
Yeah, Torsay chimes in. Yeah, you can practically set a watch by the consistency of their greed and exploitation.
CoreSec? You don't know what they're going to do. For all we know, we could be branded as some sort of traitors or seen as working with the aliens because we were the only ones there that have the data. Hell, they might want to kill us just because we know they exist.
I know, but I feel bad just leaving Ren.
Ren will be fine.
Let's give Ren a quick call.
I think it's best, Astro, to just send her a message saying that we've accepted a mission and then we're going to head out and complete it and be back as soon as we're done.
I'm the captain, and I say we give her a call.
Torsay looks at the rest of Torsay looks at the rest of you, just shrugs at you all and says, "All right, Captain, I can give them a call."
You can do it while we're in movement, right? Is
that
fair, Astro?
Sure.
We'll be within range to contact the station directly until we move beyond the system's well.
Well, let's do that.
I'm already flipping switches, turning things on.
Torsay just turns to look at you, Astro, to see what you want her to do.
That's fine. Let's clear out and call Ren once we leave the dock.
Yes, Captain. All right, and you got Rock. You kind of get everything running. Your system turns on. You send the remote signal to open up your to deactivate the kind of hard light shield that keeps the depressurizes the dock and then disperses the hard light shield that kind of keeps the dock pressurized. You're back in hard vacuum, and I assume you lift the ship off and start peeling out from the station.
I do.
Yep.
All right. As you head out, you are very momentarily, but in a kind of frightening way, you get locks immediately. Instantly, you get 6 target locks on your ship.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hesitate from it or anything.
Yeah, it's you take a long, very tense 5-second count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the locks disperse.
Yay, CoreSec.
And
At this point, Dyne is just going down to the hangar, just leaving the bridge. He's like, here we go again.
As you guys,
you're gonna have to tell me some of these stories because I guess I don't fully understand the concerns here. Later, maybe once we get off in the traveling.
Well, let's give Torsay a call.
You mean
I'm right
Ren?
here.
You mean Ren?
Yeah.
Right there.
Well, Hi, Torsay. Can you put Ren on the line, please?
She smiles at you, and she turns. She actually
holding his shoe up to his head.
Wait a second. This isn't a phone.
Did Astro ever act in a remake of Get Smart?
Absolutely.
Bring up the shoe phone.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He'd be the perfect actor for it in these times.
I'd watch it.
So what you're saying is Astro's Astro played Agent 86 in one of his movies.
Oh, sure, for sure. But yeah, as you guys get further and further away from EoS, and EoS is just kind of like in your rear sensors, Torsay, like after she's told to like bring Ren up, she actually turns and looks at you first, Rock.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be flying the ship, but I'll kind of notice her looking at me and just kind of smile at her and just nod.
All right. She after she sees you nod, she plugs a few things in, and then again, main screen turn on. You get a big ol' thing right in front of like the command console, which means it's actually behind you. Rock, unless you specifically pull it up, because like you're busy piloting the ship, so you're like right at the front of the cockpit, right, like in the command center, so you could bring that feed onto your view and put it like in one of the corners of your view if you want to also see this view, but like the main screen is basically right behind your head, and that's what everyone else is looking at. Yeah, it pulls up, and like it like you see the little contact spinner go through for a little bit, and then eventually, the screen pulls up. Ren is sitting at their desk. They are like sitting there with their arms folded. They're looking at the screen. Oh, I see you've departed from the station.
Yes, I just wanted to let you know, Ren, that we've taken on a job. And we are heading off immediately. And we will let you know as soon as we're done. Is everything going okay for you?
Why, yes. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Everything is well in hand.
If this was D&D, I'd totally do an insight check on that.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one thinking, like, man, that's like, I don't know.
Doubt.
I keep pressing X and nothing's happening.
Press X to doubt, yeah.
Okay, well, stay safe, Ren. We will contact you once our mission is complete.
Excellent. I don't have anything here for you to do at the moment anyway, so just make sure you check in when I need to follow up with you.
Very good.
All right.
Over and out.
Excellent. I think I'll need you to give me a report on what recent expenditures you had to go through before you left, but let me know if you need anything.
Will do, and I'll send over that report as soon as possible.
Thank you. And you see for a moment, Ren doesn't shut off the feed. Ren turns to the side, and like you can see them reach out their hand towards the terminal, like they're reaching towards the off button or whatever. But they start talking to someone off screen for a second first. But they say, you see, I just needed to check in with a few of my contractors. It's nothing important. And then that's when the screen cuts off.
Oh.
Well, now.
I don't feel bad about leaving Ren.
They're buying us time to get out. You understand that, right?
I do, but I just don't feel good about it.
I kind of agree. This doesn't seem great.
Am I out far enough to warp?
It literally takes like a couple of hours, because EoS Station is near the edge of the system's well, the gravity well created by the star. Once you hit the edge of the star's gravity well is when you can activate that drive. So it is going to take a couple of hours at sublight.
Okay.
But that's like expected for most ships. The fact that you don't have to go directly to the gate would buy you some time, because you could just go to out of the well and activate the drive rather than having to aim at the gate to leave.
Sure.
So you kind of like make the perfect radius route. You know what I mean? The straight line that's the closest to the edge. But yeah, that's what course you put in. And yeah, you guys just kind of hover out towards the edge of the system for a while. Torsay says, well, this has all been super odd. I don't know what this new job is. Astro, you're going to have to detail everything for me. I'm going to have to see the copy of the contract. And what the hell was that all about?
What was what all about?
She's just like openly looking between the lot of you.
Yeah, guys, fill her in on the job. Come on.
Okay. We got this boring guy named John Smith. He works for Manticorp, and he wants us to investigate this colony that's lost contact. They mine iridium, aluminum, which I've already said is super freaking valuable and dangerous to have because everyone wants it. We are supposed to regain contact, and then hopefully there's no hostile force there waiting to kick our asses.
And you guys kind of, over the next hour or two, you go over the contract with her. She examines it with a fine-tooth comb. You get the navigation info to her and to Rock, so they can like chart everything you need to, figure out which jumps you want to take to go from system to get there. It is going to take a little bit of time to travel there. Maybe a couple of days, we'll see, once we figure out the path you're going to have to travel to get to the Jakafi system. Eventually you hit the edge of the well, and Rock, you're able to put the system behind you as you warp the next system over.
Real quick before we go into warp, I'll ask Torsay, can you just check to see if there's any official word from the station about the military presence?
Oh, yeah, I should be able to still access it from here. They finally put out a release. Here, I'll send it over to your terminal.
Oh, thanks.
Torsay sends over like a little, like it's very obviously like an admin message or something from the station, right? It basically I don't know what the exact wording on it would be, but I'll give you the gist of it. It's kind of like an admin message basically saying, while working on far-field maneuvers, one of the frigate flotilla was passing through the area and had some business at the station, sent a few of its higher ranking officers on board to chat with Ren and just discuss a bit of business, and they will probably be leaving in the next day or two. The system message urges everyone to give space and freedom to any personnel they notice from CoreSec operating on the station over those few days, because we would not want to inconvenience them during their brief stay here.
Well, that's good. That should mean hopefully they're gone by the time we get back.
Yeah, but doesn't reveal what their true intentions are.
Well, I have a feeling that it might relay to our mysterious friend.
You mean whoever had that storage space? Or do you mean
less the storage space and more the mech that we fought?
Oh, that too, yeah.
The Paladin.
Yeah. We didn't get much because they self-destructed, but obviously,
somehow,
CoreSec is worried about it.
I'm guessing any sensor data on something like that would be important to them.
And it's quite possible that whatever was in the vault was related to CoreSec, either through a contract to Megacorp or to CoreSec itself. Whatever it is, it's worried them, be it whatever it is, it's worried them enough to bring a fleet. Hopefully, though, things will have cooled down by the time we get back.
Let's hope. If we get back. Just kidding.
Yep.
Well, I think it's definitely one thing we should be prepared for as soon as we land. Depending on what it was that caused communication loss, combat. Be prepared.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
If it's
no way this is going to be a simple misunderstanding.
We can only hope it was pirates
on that planet.
I have a feeling that would be the simplest solution.
Yeah, and you guys get underway having discussions about the upcoming mission, your fears about what may or may not happen as you kind of set the ship alight, get ready for the couple of days worth of travel you'll have to do to move from jump point to jump point. Eventually you guys all have dinner, you start discussing amongst yourselves, break off into separate groups, and as you all prepare to get some rest tonight, Rock, as you move to your personal chambers, and you kind of move in, you'll notice as you move into your personal chambers for the night that your terminal is displaying a message.
Yeah.
As you approach it, it just shows, you have one new unread message. Like as you examine the data on it, it looks like, it was one of the messages that came into the ship and then was like acknowledged to be for you. So it was just sent directly to your terminal, your personal private terminal on the DBC.
Trying to decide if Rock would read it or not. Yeah, I'll pull it up.
It is a very formal message in all the ways that an electronic message could be on official letterhead. That's the energy you get from this message. It has like one of those copy and pasted kind of like standard corp headings. It says CoreSec right at the top. And it's a very small message. It's only a few lines. But it says, CoreSec has no tolerance for traitors, and even less so for undesirables. I told you to stay out of my way. And then at the bottom, it's very simply signed with like an automatic signature that just says Commodore Winchester at the bottom. And that's where we're going to end the session today. Wasn't that fun, everyone?
That's what we call a cliffhanger.
Nothing bad happened.
No, not at all. You guys didn't get into a fight. No one shot at you. I mean, unless you count.
Best case scenario, by the way. Actually, this was actually best case scenario.
I mean, only one hole got put in your ship, and it was from one of you.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to leave it on that little bit of a cliffhanger before we go into our next couple of missions or next couple of sessions where we're going to follow up on the DBC crew following up with this Manticorp mission they've been sent on and see how they do there. I want to thank everyone for joining us. We've had a little bit of response already for the show, and we love it. We like that people are enjoying it at least, so that's cool. I'm glad we're doing it. It's energizing. If you want to help out in any way, just let other people know about the show. It always helps, like having more listeners, or, if you want to comment or talk to us about the show, you do that. But yeah, thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in the next session.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Yep, thanks, and look forward to the next one.
See you guys next time.
Bye.